Some of you are saying, I don't want to have my parents' marriage. That's wrong. Focus on the kind of marriage you want to have, not the type you don't want to have. Your mind cannot separate the two. It picks keywords. So for many young people, they relegate or limit attraction to physical. There are different kinds of attraction, not just physical. If you make the mistake, and physical is the easiest one because you can be in a church like this and see someone from afar. And so I like that person. Or worse, I love that person that you have not met.
Hey, welcome back to You and I, Dating and Marriage. Let's get into some real talk and practical advice for your relationship. Let's dive in.
I found out you can't successfully fail without useless friends. You need a company of useless people around you to fail. They have to contribute to your foolishness. They all say, yeah, you can do it. So it's okay, how are we going to achieve it? It's 1,500 meters. So these guys joined me. We measured the dormitory. It was very short. We measured the dormitory that if you run from wall to wall, we'll just count it how many times it will amount to 1,500 meters. Useless friends. And how did we count the 1,500 meters? They were using their leg. Wall to wall, to know how many times I need to touch the wall. When the guys I was competing with wake up 5 a.m. and go to the field and actually run on the track that we're going to compete on. I was in dormitory after smoking with my useless friends. Then I run wall to wall, touch this wall, touch that one. And the useless friends are counting. The 1, 2, yes, you're getting there. Useless. Is marriage hard or not? Depends on how prepared you are. Got to the D-Day. 4 of us, only 3 has to go. These guys were the team. Nobody competes with these guys. Long distance, you don't stumble into long distance race. You need to know who you are, what you have before you come there. You don't not something you stumble into. Yeah, I have a talent. No, this is long distance race. So these are the 3 guys that represent the school. Nobody competes with them, but I'm going to break. I'm going to be fourth man in the fire this time. Break it and take one person's spot. I wasn't planning to come first. I was planning to come third. You see, your vision matters. Failures are not planning to succeed. They're just planning not to fail. They're 2 different things. Some people are planning to be wealthy. Some are planning not to be poor. 2 different visions. When you're planning not to be poor, the key word is poor. Your brain does not pick little words. It picks keywords. Some of you are saying, I don't want to have my parents' marriage. That's wrong. Focus on the kind of marriage you want to have, not the type you don't want to have. Your mind cannot separate the two. It picks keywords. So you give your mind direction by vision. If you keep focusing on what you're trying to avoid, you are going exactly there. I'm a car guy. Those of you that know me closely know I'm a car guy. I'm a car guy. I drive cars, fast cars, and I drive it fast. And one of the things they teach us in car racing or tracking is that if you ever lose control, don't focus on where you're trying not to go. Because if there's a rail around you, you're losing control, you look like you're going to hit the rail. They say, don't look at the rail you're trying not to go to. Because that's your instinct. Oh, I don't want to go to the rail. Say, if you keep looking at the rail, guess where you're going? Straight at the rail. Now, if you want to get back to the road, keep your eyes on the road. So don't say, I don't want to have my parents' marriage. If that's your focus, guess what you're going to have? Your parents' marriage. So my vision wasn't to win the race. I was trying not to lose the race. So, on your marks, we got to the track that day. And I was popular in school. My name is Kingsley. My nickname was King Zo. So everybody shouting, King Zo, King Zo, King. That's when I knew in life, the amount of supporters you have don't count. If you are not prepared. It doesn't matter how many people wish you well. That's why you can't tell a strong marriage by the amount of people that attend the wedding. You have a lot of supporters. A lot of people came out for you. They're all going home and they'll leave you alone. In fact, statistically, the more people you have in your wedding, the more likely it's not going to make it. That's what the statistics says. That the more you spend in your wedding, the less likely it is to make it. I'm telling you. And I preached this somewhere. One guy called me and said, that thing is so true, that his wedding was in a stadium. That it didn't make 1 week. Stadium. I'm telling you, I kid you not. That's what the stats say. The more you spend. So when you see somebody more interested in the wedding than in the marriage, that's a red flag. So, King Zo, King Zo, King Zo. On your marks, get set, go. I took off. My plan was to follow the guy that comes first so that I will come second. And I stayed close to him. We did the first lap. Everything looked okay. I was doing well. And everybody was shouting, King Zo, King Zo, King Zo. Second lap, everything was looking good. I was like, my dreams were close to me. I could smell that school I was going to, the campus I was going to go to have fun. It was close. I could touch it. I've made it. I was second place. I didn't know that in long distance race, the final lap, they increased their, I didn't know. You see, I'd never been trained before. Never gone to any training before. I thought this was what we were all going to do. I thought this was the agreement we had, that we were all going to maintain this speed. When we got to the last lap, they blew the whistle. But all those guys that were jogging with me, that thought we were in agreement, the way they took off, I'm like, what? And I tried to follow them. Have you ever tried to do something where a part of you came out of you and started advising you that if you do it, you will die? And if you die, I will kill you. I'm telling you, I wanted to move my heart. So if you will kill yourself here today. They all just took off. I tried to move. All the while we're doing all the laps, I was using all my energy. That was me trying not to die. I was using all my energy. I know these guys were conserving their energy. When that thought, they all took off. I tried to follow my heart. I could not breathe. The only good thing was that there was some bush and stuff at the end of before we made the turn. So when I knew that there's no way I could make it, I ran straight into the bush. I went to sit down there and was breathing. I almost died. and I didn't come out. I stayed there till everybody left. Stayed there till everybody left. Only my useless friends that counted dormitory with me waited for me. Whenever I left, they waited for me. I came out. They gone, they've gone. You can come out. Useless people. You always have those friends giving you bad advice. Be careful of those people. People that don't have a good marriage. Be careful of the advice they give you about marriage. Be careful. Some of them are going to project the stress they are facing in their marriage on your marriage. So be careful about that. So was the 1,500 meters, or was it hard or easy? It depends if I was prepared or not. In this case, I was not prepared. So of course it was hard. For those guys that had been training every morning, 5 a.m., of course it was easy. And they still went ahead to represent the school as they normally do. I went to represent my own useless guys out. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? So wherever they say whether marriage is hard or not, tell them it all depends. Are the exams going to be hard or not? Depends if you have read, if you have studied. People that have studied look forward to the exams. People that have not studied are doing everything they can to avoid the exam. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? It all depends. How prepared are you? So if your marriage is going to get brighter and brighter, the first step we must look at is how fit are you? How fit are you for the journey of marriage? How fit are you? You see, if I had known what I was going into, you know there are breathing techniques for long distance race. I didn't know anything like that. There's how to conserve your energy. There are many things about that race, but for me, it was just a race. That's how people look at marriage. It's just two people together. No, there are loads of dynamics that you must learn. Lots of stuff you must learn. So how prepared are you? That's number one. Number two, if your marriage is going to go brighter and brighter, second thing to know is how intentional are you? How intentional are you? If you ask me one of our own greatest secrets of marriage, I would say intentionality. That means we decided from the onset the kind of marriage we wanted to build. It looks simple, but trust me, it makes a world of difference. We decided from the scratch the kind of marriage we wanted. So you have to decide. Don't just get, and that's the thing going on in the world. People are taking movies and music seriously. You need to understand, it's just entertainment. They're not trying to teach you any values. At least most of them. So they're painting an idea of love as a romantic thing. So everybody wants to equate how much they're in love with how they feel. Love is not a feeling. Love is not a feeling. So that is what's causing problem. I'm going to get there when I talk about knowledge. So you must be intentional. What kind of marriage do you want to build? Don't just get married for getting married sake. Oh man, that's the most boring and tiring and I mean that's the most boring and tiring thing you can do, just to get married for getting married. Always have a higher purpose. Why both of you are coming together. Have a goal, have a dream. There's something about a goal and a dream. There's something about purpose and agreement that makes your marriage solid. Have that agreement. What kind of marriage do you want to have? When we were getting married, we have a video on YouTube where we talked about like 10 of the agreements we had before we got married. There were agreements we had. I encourage all young people that are getting married to have that. Even if you're already married, you can watch that and learn. We had some basic agreements. We will not use abusive language. We've been married for 20 years plus now. Never use the you fool, bastard, idiot, bloody fool. There are things people use on their spouse, that just sound weird to us. We decided from the onset, we agreed the kind of marriage we wanted. We wanted to build a marriage that will be a solid partnership. Do you know, I'm always shocked, Pastor, that there are couples that get married and don't do their finances together. For me, it's always a big shock. And I'm always asking, who taught you marriage? That means somewhere in your mind. So what did you join? Because marriage is people joining together, right? You answer, right? So what did you join? It's weird to me. I see people married and this person doesn't know what's happening with this person's finances. This person don't know, they're just. So what did you join? So who taught you marriage then? Oh, pastor. Women of nowadays, you can't trust them with money. Or the men nowadays, you can't trust them with money. But you want to trust them with your life? The same person you can't trust with money, you're going to trust them with your life? You see, the world has confused you about your sense of value. Money is now more valuable to you than your life. So you can spend the night, you can sleep, and on the same bed with this person you don't trust. Your money is in a safe, but your life is in danger. You need to go and recheck. If you don't even like your life, but you can trust your kids with this person. So your money is in a safe, your kids are with the person you don't trust. Kill the kids if you like, but my money, you will never touch it. That's what you're saying. You're saying, look, have the kids if you like, take them if you like, but this is my money. You can never touch it. That's what you're saying. If you can't trust them with your money, please don't trust them with your life. And don't trust them with your kids. Somebody catch what I'm saying. How intentional are you? Because the moment you become intentional, it determines the kind of person you can marry or can never marry. Because some people are good as girlfriends, they're not good as wives. I have a popular message titled, Your Girlfriend is Not Your Wife. Oh, I'm telling you, some people are good as boyfriends. Yeah, because the role of a boyfriend and the role of a husband are different. Boyfriend can take you out. Husband will take you up. He's a priest of that home. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? He's a priest of that home. He's in touch with the Father. Girlfriend is more concerned about how much you spend. Wife is more concerned about how much you save. Very different roles. So your girlfriend might not make it as your wife. In the moment you become intentional about the role and the criteria, you find out that this person that is a beautiful girlfriend doesn't make it or call it as a wife. If many young men can understand this, you will not. There's some people you will not marry. So beauty fades, charm is deceitful. It's about the woman that fears the Lord. You see, criteria is different. The woman that fears the Lord. Different criteria. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? Oh, but most young men will first marry the first fine girl they see. If you marry a girlfriend, you will suffer. Girlfriend is high maintenance. If you marry a boyfriend, you will be lonely. There's only one thing worse than being single and lonely. It is being married and lonely. That's the only thing worse than being single and lonely. Being married and lonely. Because a husband is a cultivator. A husband is a builder. A husband from day one is marrying you the way you are, but he has a vision of how you are going to be. He understands that he's partnering with God to build you to become. But you see, a boyfriend doesn't mind you being dependent. Boyfriend never brings clarity. Always brings confusion. You always have to keep asking boyfriend, what are we? No intentionality. Let me move to the third one. So, is marriage easy or hard? It depends on how prepared you are. It depends on how intentional you are on the design of marriage you're going to build. Are you building a partnership from day one? We've never had separate accounts. Never done it. From the day one we married, we've always had a joint account. Now, if you work in different places or she has to earn money from different places, we still have what is called joint accountability. We always plan our money together as one purse, regardless of who earns what. Maybe tomorrow when we have time, we might go into that. That's a plague I see today in the body of Christ. Please remember that we are in this world. We are not of this world. Don't confuse the fact that you live in America to mean you must have an American marriage. You are a kingdom citizen. Are you here, somebody? So that's one plague I see going on. Most women today have not been told what it means to be a wife, so they behave like a knife. You know, most women psychologically, and there are studies to prove this. In fact, that's why they have studies that show that when women earn more, the marriage is in danger. If you ask the average man that is responsible why he's working, he understands that he's working to take care of his family. They found out that when they ask women the same question, they're not seeing it that way at all. They're working to take care of themselves. Again, there are studies to prove this, so it's not my opinion. And they found out that relationships or marriages where women earn more are very endangered. Because most women are wired to believe that they are receivers. That, oh, people must do for me. He must do for me. He must take me out. He must pay for this. He must pay for that. So the moment she starts to earn more and feels this guy can't do anything major for me, resentment begins to build. So what's this guy doing for me? What's he adding to me? As a lady, you must understand that in the kingdom, your number one role is as a helper. The same Hebrew word that they used to describe God as the helper. Are you here, somebody? So if you ever, for any reason, marry a man that needs help, you can't help with an attitude. You can't help and feel like you are suffering. No, this is what you are created to do. And the good thing is that you get to choose who you help. But don't feel used. And I know they are really responsible men, so don't get me wrong, I understand what I'm saying. But I'm trying to speak to the culture I see. That once women feel they are doing better, they feel they have to punish the man. In fact, men tell me all the time, when I try to encourage men to get married, they say, we can never marry women that earn more than us. That she'll be rude. You can't advise her. She'll have an attitude. And that is happening because women are not being properly trained to understand that in a kingdom marriage, it doesn't matter who earns what. There is a kingdom structure for marriage. None of us created it. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? So, how intentional is your marriage? By design. I've never had to quote a scripture to my wife that I'm the head of the home. Never have to do it. Because we're both getting married. We're both Christians. We understand what the kingdom marriage is. It has nothing to do with me. If your husband has to always, if you guys have to, some women say, I only submit when I agree. You see, that's not submission. Say, if I don't agree, then I don't submit. It has to make sense to me before I submit. No, it doesn't work that way. I understand some men can be domineering and all that. So that's why you get to choose. Like my wife always says, submission starts from selection. You pick the kind of leader you want. And then you trust God in that leader. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? If you do marriage the natural way, then of course it's hard. If you do marriage God's way, it's not bad at all. The system protects itself. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? The system protects itself. God never intended for a woman to have a head that did not have a head. Well, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. God expected that as a woman, you pick a man that as your head or the head of this home that also has a head over his life. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? So how intentional is that home? How are you guys building that home? Is it built based on culture or is it built based on scripture? Is it built based on feelings or built on the precepts of God? Number 3. So we've said, number 1, it depends on how fit or prepared you are. Number 2, it depends on what? Intentional you are. Number 3, it depends on how knowledgeable you are. How knowledgeable you are. There's anatomy of relationship. For those that are doctors and co, one of the things you must learn is the anatomy of the human body. You must understand where everything is, why it's there, and what connects what to what. Before you start learning how to touch it, you must know where they are. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? You must know where they are and what they do. Is somebody catching what I'm saying? That is how love and marriage is. You must understand the dynamics, or else you'll be taken by surprise. How many people are still single here? Can I see your hand? You're single. Just let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. All right, thank you. Those of you that are single, please listen very carefully. Those that are married already know what I'm going to say, or at least they've experienced it. Those of you that are single, listen very carefully. When you are picking someone to marry, you must understand the laws of attraction. You must understand the laws of attraction. This is very important. For many young people, they relegate or limit attraction to physical. There are different kinds of attraction, not just physical. If you make the mistake, and physical is the easiest one because you can be in a church like this and see someone from afar. And so I like that person. Or worse, I love that person that you have not met. You see, when you understand the anatomy, it will even make the process of picking easier and faster. There are many. I was talking to a guy. He's 50. He's my close friend. He's going to 51 or 52 by now. He's still single, never married. And it's good, and it's a man of God. I'm telling you, these things might look funny, but trust me, you must understand the anatomy of marriage. This thing I'm about to share with you now is why even some married people are regretting their experience in marriage. This thing I'm about to share with you now. I need 3 of those single guys. If you're single, 3 people that are single, please, I need you. Don't be, yes, please come. I need 2 more people. It can be guys or ladies, doesn't matter. So I need a guy now. Please come on the stage if you don't mind. I need a guy now. I want the person to volunteer. Where is the person? I want them to, I can see them, but I need them to want to. Thank you. Yes, join. You guys are friends, so go and encourage your friend. So, guys, see what happens to single people. See why they stay single up. The 3 of you move back a bit. You come forward. 3 of you move back a bit and give yourself some space. Don't go backwards. Yeah, okay, just give yourself some. Beautiful. So what's your name? Toby. So there's a single guy looking for a wife, and all he knows about attraction, and this is how you are biologically wired. If you are going to succeed in life, you must go over and above your biology. You must work with knowledge, not just instinct. Did somebody catch what I said? You must work with what? Knowledge and not instinct. It's the same thing with almost any field. If you're in real estate, for instance, you don't just pick a building by the paint. You will just pass and say, oh, I like the way they paint this place. I want to buy. Is that how you do it? No! The paint is nice, but there are a whole lot of other things to check. And if in a normal sense, you will get an inspector to go and the plumbing might be bad, but the paint is good. And you pray for the house and move in and find out you can't go to the toilet. You can't use the bathroom. You can't have a bath. And if you don't go to the bathroom to do either number 1 or number 2, after a while you will start smelling, right? This was happening in many people's marriage. The house is fine. Everybody doesn't know why the guy is smelling. The house is fine. There's no plumbing. You see, he didn't inspect. He walked by at physical attraction. There is physical attraction, but that is not the main attraction. It's not the physical attraction you're going to live with. You see, the only time a car is fine on the outside is until you buy it. Oh, somebody didn't get that. I said the only time the look of the car matters so much is until you buy it. From the day you buy it, you spend more time. Other people enjoy the outside. Your real experience of that car is inside. If the air conditioning is not working, but you guys are in Jersey, it's cold. I live in Houston. If the air conditioning is not working, people say, "Whoa, nice car." You say, all your makeup is going to be on the floor. They will say, "Nice car," but you're sweating. And if they ask you what's your experience of the car, you say it's a bad experience. And people don't understand. The car is so fine, but the experience is so bad because the gear is not working. The car breaks down at the worst possible moment. Right in front of the light in a very busy intersection. It just breaks down. So by the time they ask you how's your experience with this car, you say it's bad. Because you fell into the trap of marrying just for physical attraction. So most guys are looking for a wife. So if they see Toby, for instance, maybe she's not their spec. So they say, "Oh, she's not the one. I'm looking for my wife, oh Lord." They pass again. She's not the one. Look, she might be the one. But you have only eliminated her based on physical attraction. There is a second kind of attraction. What's your name? You stay, Toby, stay. What's your name? Terai. 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 I like that. All right. So, Terai is spiritual attraction. There are many people, especially in this our kingdom, in a church setting, if you are spiritual, you might get more attention than even someone that is good looking physically. If someone comes here, if Terrarai ministers in song and people are falling under the power, she's the choir, right? And people are falling under the anointing, people are weeping and crying, sick people get healed, Terrarai will become very attractive. But you see, you can't know what I just described now until you are in the same space with her for a bit. This one you can decide without ever talking to her. You can just decide on Toby without talking to her and say, "You know myself, go." But for this spiritual attraction, we have to be in the same space for a bit. So many people have not given terror a chance because they have never been in the same space. What's your name? Faber. Faber. Stand here. Faber is mental attraction. Again, it's a bit similar to spiritual. You can never know if you are attracted to somebody mentally until you engage with them. You can't know that from a distance. But unfortunately, most single people, after they miss this, after they see this first one, they just say, he's not my type. What they have done unknowingly is that when they have picked their type, let's imagine Toby is their spec, and they've picked Toby. This is what happens to many people. And some people, if you're already married, you know what I'm talking about. They've picked Toby, yes, because they like how she looks physically. Then they get here, because after you pick here, you don't really interact with here so much. Again, like I told you, the only time you interact with the house beauty or the car's beauty is before you own. When you own it, you spend most of the time inside the house, not outside. It's people that are passing will say, "Oh, nice house." They don't live there. Your experience of that house is no more from the outside. Your experience of that car is no more from the outside. This is your experience of Toby. Now, where she is spiritually. So I've seen many people marry Toby because they're physically attracted to her. Let's pray. She can't pray. She doesn't even like to go to church. It can be he too. He doesn't like to go to church. I actually have one of my sons or mentees that I counsel. He's a pastor. The wife says he's going to divorce him except he leaves the ministry. He should go. They have kids. Not that easy. She might have been his spec physically. Spiritually now, the experience of the marriage is tough. Some, where they are, is that mentally, because in marriage, 90% of the time, you're going to be having conversations and decisions. It's not the looks that makes the decisions. It's not. This is part of it, but largely it's this guy. And two cannot work together. Except, so you see why people are divorcing. It's not marriage that is hard. They pick this one. They found out they can't talk to this one. I want to go this way. Papa will say, "No, that's the way." Can we sit down? Say, "No, let's stand." Can we stand? Say, "No, let's sit." This was going on in many people's marriages. They no mental attraction. Mental attraction is a thing. For you single people, please understand, you can't make your decision here. If you're making a decision here, you're going to miss a lot of great people. And unfortunately, this one, her shape can change. I know she's looking slim and fine. When she has 3 kids or 2 set of twins, she might not look like this. This one can change. In fact, biblically, he said, though the outward man perish. So our outward man is constantly perish. He said the inward man is renewed day by day. Are you seeing how many marriages where people are tired in their marriages? Because this one is reducing day by day. Reducing day by day. We are all going to get old. You saw the couple that have been married for how many years did they mention? I'm sure this is not how they looked when they got married. But you see, the friendship can get stronger. But your look's not going to be like this, no matter who you are. So if this was what you based your decision on, you are in for a rough ride. You can't have conversation. You can't be in spiritual alignment. Guess who is going to make decisions about the kids? Not this one. Guess who's going to make decisions about the kids? Guess who's going to teach the kids values? Guess who's going to teach, help the kids grow spiritually? You see, you can't say Toby is not your spec until you engage with her. You can't say so. Because Toby might score good on this one and score low on these other ones. And this is the weakest of them all. And this is where most people make their decision. So the next time you meet someone, before you decide if they are your spec or not, talk to them. Talk to them. There are people you might talk to. And this is what the science also says. That when you spend time with people and they have this going, a lot of times, this starts to look better than you saw it. That's what the science says. Once this starts working, you find out, Faba, man, I like your fashion sense, man. I like how you are thinking, man. I like how we vibe together, how we agree, how we did that, what I was thinking, you got it. After a while, you will enjoy this one so much. You won't even notice that you didn't like this originally. You will start to now find this attractive. This is the weakest of them all. And it's perishing day by day. But this one is being renewed every day. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? In fact, the Bible said beauty fades. Charm is deceitful. He said, but a woman that fears.
Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Make sure to hit subscribe, share this with someone you love, and click the video on your screen for more. I'll see you in the next one.